So here is you in your darkness. So, at the end of the last episode, we kind of covered what had happened briefly. So out of the darkness, a young girl walks out, and it turns out that it is Rose from the Durst Manor at the very beginning of the campaign. And she was like, "Why didn't you save me? I asked you to help me, but you spurned me. And yet, you took pity on this vile and wicked cat." And that's literally where we had left off with that. So that's where we're picking up. You can see that Fomorius, your adopted house pet, is here. And young Rose is standing here. Rose looks pale, just like she did before, but she looks a little bit more corporeal. And she's got tears rolling down her eyes. She looks truly saddened.
Hello, Rose. Hello, Fomorius. I'm sorry. Are you saying this cat is vile and wicked? I have not seen that side of it.
But you can't tell? I thought you had some kind of magical intuition. That's how you knew that me and Thorn were in danger. And now something strange and terrible has happened, and all I know is it's all your fault. And I was taken away from Thorn, and I don't know where he is, and anything could be happening to him. And now I'm stuck here because of you! Because of you!
Wait, just slow down. Stuck here. Wait, let's clear this up first. You're not dead, correct?
Stuck here, you pathetic girl. Oh. You can leave anytime you want to. Says a voice.
Did it come from a direction?
No, it really just was in your head.
Fomorius?
He says, "Oh, another thing. That's the name you decided to give me? That's the name." Because do you realize how insensitive it is to be named after a bone? I'm resorted to a skeletal form, and just to remind me of that heinous and totally humiliating fact, you name me after one of my bones.
So wait, are you not a cat? What are you?
I'm a cat, yes, but not in the regular sense of the word anymore.
So you're an undead cat, just as I suspected?
Of sorts, I suppose.
Are you evil?
Evil? Of course I'm not evil. What have I done that's evil? He is evil. Don't trust him. He's wicked. He's a trickster. Oh, shut up, you pathetic child.
Hey, you both should not be name-calling each other. You're both very adorable, and that should not happen. I'm just trying to figure out why you are here talking to me. I was just with my family getting really destroyed. I'm feeling quite ill at the moment. And you, Rose, what do you mean magical intuition? I saw you two in front of the Durst Manor, and it seemed like you needed help. I didn't sense anything. I just saw children, and I saw a scary-looking home, and then we went in because we were all lost.
Right, but do you realize how many people had walked by us, standing there, didn't even see us, couldn't see us, until you came along? You came along and you saw us, and you helped us. I thought we meant something to you. I thought you were kind.
I took your finger as you requested. That was your wish, wasn't it?
Well, yes.
To see the world, so I brought your finger so you could experience it all.
But that's just it. You didn't. I asked you if I could come with you, and you ignored me. You didn't let me come. You took my finger bone and you just left me. You stole a part of me and left me. And I haven't been complete since.
I think there's a bit of truth twisting here. I'm sorry.
Not at all. When you left the house, I asked you, could I come with you?
You did. I do recall that.
And you didn't take me. You denied me the chance to come.
You never said that you were going to appear in some kind of thought form in my head. All you did was ask for me to take your finger bone, which I did. And when you did ask afterwards, frankly, it freaked me out a lot. And honestly, I have a lot going on in this head of mine to allow another person to exist. And so, yeah, I got very confused, so I ignored it. And I thought, we'll see if it comes back. And it never did. So I thought it was fake,
And you did
just in my
yourself
head.
a favor. You did
Why?
yourself a huge, huge favor, Gemma. Can you imagine having that whiny thing inside your head the entire time? And she starts to cry. She's like, you're horrible. You're mean. You're hateful.
Fomorius, can you stop name calling this poor girl? She's been through a lot.
Fine. She's manipulating you. If you can't see it, I can't help you.
Why are you here?
Well, to be honest, I'd like to know the answer to that as well. I was at home, watching the house, just like I was supposed to. You know, like when that person broke into your house, and I let you know that there were burglars, and then when he came back, I was like, watch him, he's iffy, he's suspect. Incidentally, none of you ever pay attention to me when I'm trying to talk to you at the house. You never even acknowledge that you're hearing me, so I assumed that most of you were obviously deaf or something, but in the long run, I've done nothing but help you people. And she's going to stand there after haunting a house, trying to possess you, and I'm the evil one? Really? Me?
I think you both have some very valid points here, and I think we should all sit down and talk about it. So, have a seat. Have a seat. Is there anything in this room I should be scared of right now? Because I really would like to see my family again. So if we could figure this out, maybe that's my test, right?
They all just look around in the darkness and say, is this a room?
I don't know. And I'm feeling a little woozy, so whether or not you like it, I'm going to sit down, and then I will just kind of like get in crisscross.
Well, as soon as you sit down, Fomorius sits down in cat fashion, sits back on his hind legs, and reluctantly, Rose does eventually kind of sit down with her legs tucked out to the side and pulls her dress down kind of very proper-like and puts her hands in front of her.
All right, Rose. You first. I'm going to take out the bone finger that I got from Rose, like out of my bag, if I have my bag transported
you do.
with me. Okay.
Whatever you came, yeah. All your
So I'm
stuff's
gonna take it out and like hold it out. So this is you.
It was a part of me.
I suppose my question is, would you like to be reunited with your finger?
Don't suppose it much matters to me anymore. I'd like to be reunited to my brother, but now I'm here, and all I know is it's your fault. Something you did forced me to snatch me away from my brother.
I don't think that is accurate, but sure. We'll
I feel it in my bones. Well, all 99% of them.
All right. Didn't have to go that far. Okay, so you would like to be reunited with your brother. When's the last time you saw him? Did you see him recently? Are you in like
I really don't know how long I've been here. Time has been somewhat well, altogether abstract for as long as I can remember.
And you, Fomorius, you just transported here.
Oh yeah, I've only been here a few minutes.
A few minutes.
I'm sure of it.
I'd like to try something, Rose. Will you can I approach you with this finger bone that I may reconnect it to your spirit?
Be careful. Don't trust her. She may make sudden movements. She might try to possess you again, Gemma. Be careful.
All right. Thank you for the warning, Fomorius. I'm going to like scooch forward, still sitting. Just like...
All right. The cat turns and like hisses at Rose, and she like goes and sticks her tongue out at the cat.
I'm going to hold out the finger like...
Okay.
Let's reunite your physical form with your spirit form.
How does this work? What are we supposed to do?
You take your spirit finger, and I'll take the bone, and boop,
Okay, so she kind of like offers up her hand with the finger that's missing.
Okay.
Great tip.
And come on.
And so you put the bone where it would fit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you feel?
No, not really, but then I haven't really felt anything for a very long time.
Can you even touch it, or does it go right through you? And I'm gonna touch her to be like,
She seems solid enough.
Oh.
Little clammy and cold, but...
I did not expect that. I was curious. Huh. So you are in a physical form, yet you're dead, so perhaps you are some kind of undead. I don't know what to make of this. I haven't quite experienced it before.
Well, I'll tell you what, while you think about it, let's go over to see Seth.
I can't believe you said boop.
So, what had happened with Seth is his dear old dad, Gampy, came out of the darkness and said, "I knew it! I knew you'd end up being a disappointment to me!" And that's where we left off. And he's standing there like with one hand, one fist clenched, and his finger pointing at you, wagging it.
I'm gonna be taken aback, of course, and then I'm just gonna be like, Dad?
Of course it's your dad! Although, to be honest, I'm seriously considering disowning you at this point. You're shameful of a son. Your other son's so much better than you. At least he made a career of himself, not like you, wandering around from tavern to tavern, drunk all the time, getting into fights, cursing, swearing, vomiting in back alleys. Oh, such a son to be proud of.
Honestly, those are many points of pride. Not gonna lie,
Pride, he says.
Happy
He
when I-
takes pride in it, he says. Listen to him.
well, yeah, got out of the house, got away from you.
He says, "Huh. And none too soon, my boy. Let me tell you that. None too soon. I couldn't wait to see the backside of you."
Yeah.
He says,
Couldn't even come to the wedding, huh? Too lazy. Couldn't even go to that war back in the day, huh?
"You know
Desert's
that I
too
had a
hot."
bum leg, that's why I couldn't fight. And as for the wedding, I didn't go to the wedding because I didn't want to have to look at your pathetic face."
Well, then, what's keeping you? Get the hell out of here.
He says,
Huh?
"Well, if only I could. But no, apparently I've got to do what you couldn't. I said to you, didn't I? All I wanted you to do was look after the family. But you couldn't even look after your own dear mother."
I have been looking after the family. That's all I've been doing here.
And where are they? Where are they?
Well,
Lost.
Well, they're probably behind me and to the right and left.
You stupid, ignorant nincompoop. They're lost in the darkness because you abandoned them. You're pathetic. I know that in my youth I got up to a bit of rough and tumble and a bit of skullduggery, but you didn't have to take in my terrible, terrible ways. I turned myself around and lived a proper life. Yes, sure, I was strict on you, but only because I didn't want you to go down the same path. But I can see there's no thing for it. Gonna have to give you a right good hiding. And he starts to roll up his sleeves. You might have 30 years on me, but I can still show you a thing or two, you worthless gobshite.
So, wait. Let me get this straight, Dad. You want to thump me something fierce right now for failing you, but you yourself just said that the family's all around in this darkness, but you're not going to help them yourself.
I can't help them, you fool.
Oh, hobble off.
To help.
Hobble off.
I can't.
Give it a go.
I wish I could leave. Do you think I want to be here? I'd much rather be home in my own armchair.
Now, how did you get here, by
As
the
for
way?
your poor brother's wife, somehow I'm sure that was your fault.
That's just, that doesn't make any sense.
Douglas
Douglas is living his life, and that's his choices. Has nothing to do with me.
It has everything to do with you.
Well, no, that
You've led this family around with your wanton ways, dragging them all over this bizarre land. Causing nothing but trouble, getting between your own brother and his own children, stirring up the pot, causing problems wherever you can, just like you've always done.
No, all I've ever wanted with that is consistency. I just want them to be...
Oh, you're consistent, all right. You're consistently worthless.
This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. They've been dragging me around here. I have no say with them. They make the choices.
Everything's always somebody else's problem. It's never your fault. When are you going to stand up for your own wrongdoings? When are you going to say, I'm sorry, Douglas? When are you going to say, I'm sorry that I was never there for you while you were trying to raise a family? I was drunk in a tavern. Oh, and I'm sorry I manipulated your oldest boy to drag him around and all the terrible places that I took him.
Well, that doesn't make any... There's no way I manipulate Trip. He's way too smart for me. There's nothing I could do to get him on my side.
The boy's infatuated with you. Can't you see that? He idolizes you. That's the only reason he follows you around. He thinks that following you around, writing stories and telling tales and singing songs of your great deeds, or misdeeds, is the way to go. No, you've led him astray as well, just like everybody else. You're absolutely pointless. Why don't you take your own life? You got a sharp knife there. Cut your throat, you loser.
Jesus.
Getting a little too deep, Core. I'm feeling things personally. No. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Everything I've done in Barovia has been to save the family where you have let them down. When Trip was about to... Oh, you want to move on?
No, he kind of walks right over to you.
Shit.
And just goes and slaps you across the face, unless you intend to stop him.
No. If he wants to slap me, he's slapping me.
Yeah, you take a hit point of damage.
Is that the temporary hit points that we've been accruing? Or?
Keep it separate from even those. So you now have...
Son of a bitch, Gore! I got like 3 sets of...
Yeah, I don't want you to know where the reality is.
All right, fair enough.
And we will leave it there with you. As we scroll across time and space to another dimensional area where young Trip Mildwood, out of the darkness, and he didn't really say much, he just appeared. And it is Strahd von Zarovich himself. He steps out and just looks at you for a moment and says, "Why do you find yourself here? Why do you let them lead you astray? You are worth far more than this, but to waste away here pointlessly seems so futile, so unjust for one so talented as wise as you."
Hello. Fancy seeing you here. I imagine you actually quite spend a lot of time in perpetual darkness, as it were. Strahd. Not to be, of course, but, the whole banished from light thing. I apologize. I seem to have gotten off on the wrong foot. I can't see my feet, but, Anyways, what was your question?
I wondered why you had fallen astray and found yourself in this terrible, solitary place. The rest of your family drug you in here, didn't they? The misguided loyalties of a good son. You love them dearly, do you not?
I actually got here lowered by a rope by my family. I kind of led them here, not the other way. Not to undermine you, sir, but...
No, it is nothing but truly poetic. You led them here, and yet it was they that lowered you into darkness. just as it has been your entire life. You have an uncle that, despite your talents, wastes your time in taverns. You have a father who spends more time worrying about an adopted son and a wayward daughter than acknowledging the true gifts and helping you to succeed in your hopes and
With all
dreams.
due respect, if you ever insult my siblings again, I am afraid I will not be speaking with you, ever.
Well, you can choose to ignore me, but you cannot ignore yourself. I know what happens deep inside. I know how you feel. They do not appreciate you or your gift.
I'm to understand you have a brother.
Had a brother.
Yes, and you brought him right to an end.
I
Purely
did.
out of your own avarice for something which loved him and cherished him in a way you could not.
And you see, now I pay the price of such an act for all eternity.
So, respectfully, your advice on family seems a bit ill-placed.
Oh, I have offered no advice other than point out what seems obvious.
I have
9
no doubts of my
centuries I
talent.
observed the hearts and souls of man. I see what lies beneath what they cannot. I see deep into the hearts of your uncle, your father, your sister, and your brother. And you have my condolences about what has happened with your poor mother.
What do you know?
I know little, but this is things that are family matters. You must talk to your father and ask him what he knows that he has kept from you all these years, all this time. But truly, if you love your family, you would want them to return home safe and sound, yes?
Yes. Obviously, I mean, that's why we're doing
I
this.
possess the power to allow this to happen. But I am lonely. You must understand. I tire of Ludmilla, Anastasia, Volenta. They are pretty things, yes, but they have no substance. I thought I had found such a thing in young Escher, but he bores me. But the time we spent around my dining table, when you played the music, entertained, you did not just entertain my ears, but also my soul, deep down inside me. I would be willing to open the mists and let your family leave, if you would be willing to stay. Just for a while. A mere drop in the ocean of time.
A drop in your ocean of time, I'm afraid, is my entire life.
I wish time was mine. I myself only occupy the smallest slither of time. Centuries existed before my birth, and centuries will list, millennia will list, long after I am gone.
I fear... Lord Zarovich, I don't think a measure of your soul within time is accurate by any means. I think the measure of your soul is more literal. All that's left of you is your avarice. What you wanted in life you could not have. Now you can have whatever you want in death, and it will never be enough. Even if I were to stay, when would you be satisfied?
You speak the truth, of course. I am sure that I would tire even of your amazing talents and gifts. But what if I was to tell you that once I was tired of them, I would let you go home to your family? They could leave now, and you could stay a while to give me the company that I crave, and then you can leave and go find them. With my blessing. Does this not sound like a reasonable request?
Had you not just mentioned my family would drag me down? My family leaving means I'm also with them.
Well, there you are, you see. So you will be gratifying multiple circumstances. You will save your family, free yourself, and provide me with a companion. Who knows, if I am distracted by you, I may find other things that I routinely do for entertainment less appealing. But please ask me any questions you wish. I would not want you to make this decision hastily, of course.
I don't want to mince my words here, so... the patience is understandably your style, and appreciated on my end.
We have all the time in the world here.
Where is here?
I myself do not even know. I find myself here only in my dreams. And rarely, even then. I know that a misguided force led you here, entrapped you in this vile place. You do know that there is no way to leave. You cannot simply walk from this place. No easier than you can leave through the mists of Barovia.
Then it is by some other will.
It is indeed. One that I could help you with. If I was so motivated to do so. And we will move on from there. To where we will find Douglas and his dear wife that's just come wandering out of the darkness. So your wife Parnell steps out, and as I said before, she is, Douglas? Is that you? Douglas? And she is holding what appears to be a bundle of white cloth in her hands.
Honey? What are you doing here? Are you okay?
Did I go up or did I go down?
I don't know.
Where are we?
You're saying.
What happened to you? That you're here too?
He's gonna start just walking towards her to like embrace her.
Okay, she kind of like lifts up. She goes, before
It's
you
okay.
come any closer, there's something you should know.
What is it?
Okay, she kind of like pulls back the cloth, and she goes, "This is your son, Douglas. You never got to meet him."
My what?
Well, you left to go to the wedding, and I stayed home. If you remember, I said I hadn't felt that great for a few days. Well, I found out why. I was expecting a child. And I never got time to tell you, Douglas, because, well, you never came back. You were the children. You never came home.
No, we're trying, honey.
I was all alone at the house, and
I'm so sorry. Please, what do we have here? I'm so sorry you were alone. And he's gonna reach out to try to grab her and the baby, just kind of.
Okay, so you kind of pull the baby to the side and raise one arm to hug you.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was trying to get to you.
He says,
I have the kids. They're okay. I think we're here. We're trying.
What do you mean
we're
we're here? I thought it was only me and you.
No, I don't know where we are. We got transported somehow in this place. This isn't real, honey. This isn't real. This is just like a dream or something. There's a really evil man here, and I think he's doing this to us.
I felt like I'd either, after it had happened, I looked down and saw myself drifting, and then I wondered, will I be going to heaven or to one of the hells?
Oh, sweetie, of course you're gonna. You're not going anywhere just yet. But when that time comes, of course you're going to heaven.
Douglas, you don't understand. It's already happened.
What are you talking about? What's happened?
A woman come to the house. And she knocked on the door and said she had a message from you.
From me? Oh,
she handed
yes.
me a letter, and I turned around and, with my hand on my belly, as I was very close to giving birth, and suddenly she screamed, and a dark, strange figure loomed in from the door and said, "You can thank your beloved husband for this." And then it all went dark.
What are you...
And then I found myself here, with the babe already born. And I hadn't even given birth to him. I think something killed us, Douglas.
No.
So I assumed I was here in heaven, and when I saw you, I thought you were here to welcome me through the gates.
I am here to welcome you, honey, but this can't be. That can't be what happened.
I breathed a sigh of relief, because I realized that the children were not with you, and that meant that they must still be alive.
No, I don't know. I got hurt pretty bad back there.
Perhaps you did die then, Douglas, and don't realize that you did. I didn't realize I was dead.
He's gonna drop to his knees. Oh God. Oh my.
And she'll kind of like drop down to her knees and put her hands on your head. I don't blame yourself, Douglas. I'm sure it wasn't your fault. They said something about it was because of your meddling ways, but you've never been a meddler, Douglas. I'm sure it can't be what they said.
There has to be a way out of here. He's gonna start just crawling around, looking to see if he can find anything on the ground to grab, just anything, a clue, any of where he is. No, we're gonna get out of here, honey. Just give me a second. I'm gonna figure this out. We're okay. You're okay. The baby's okay. We're gonna get back to our other babies. I promise you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're scrabbling around looking for things. Doesn't seem to matter how far you scrabble. When you turn around, she's right there. Like, you don't know whether she's moving with you or if you're just not moving. You feel like you're moving, but no matter where you go, you're always just in the same little black spot, this same little black area. Okay. And we will move over once more now to the last of our intrepid team. So what had happened is a male and female halfling had stepped out. One of them said, Willow Trip? Is that you? Oh, look, it is! It's our little Willow Trip, look! He's here! I told you we'd find him! You can't help but notice that they have a certain amount of familiarity to you, even though you don't recognize them.
I'm sorry, I like look behind me that they're talking to someone else. Do you see someone else?
No, you. My, haven't you grown? You're such a strong-looking lad. You got your father's genes, no light about it. That's right, he has. Well, haven't you done well for yourself? Look at you all dressed up dapper. Nice, fine-looking swords. Well-dressed.
Well, I do take pride in my appearance, yes.
Aye. As well you might. Well, I told you it was the best thing for him, just to leave him there. After all, we didn't want him. Oh, don't say that. I mean, it wasn't that we didn't want him, we just... Oh, we're too busy having fun, didn't really have time to take care of him. Well, yeah, but I mean, look at him. He's just as ugly now as he was as a baby. Nope.
Can I help you two with something? What are you talking about? I'm sorry, you have.
It's us, you fool. We're your parents. I was your dad. That's your mum. We abandoned you on the streets, but looks like someone picked you up. I was hoping it might have been a pack of wolves, but apparently somebody took pity on you and, well, look at you now. You've got quite presentable look about you and, speaking with a, well, more proper upbringing voice, I suppose. No, we did the right thing. Well, I'm not so sure. Well, it was your idea. You said to leave him. No, I didn't. You said, well, we could leave him. And I said, yeah, but... No, that's not how it went. I said we hadn't ought to leave him. He might prove useful at some point. You know, there are people willing to pay for such things. But you convinced me otherwise, that by the time we found somebody interested in paying for him, days or weeks of fun might have gone by, so, you know, I just agreed to leave him there. Now, hang on a minute. And at this point, they seem completely preoccupied with each other, like,
yeah,
yet again, you're discarded. And they break into a huge argument over whose fault is it that you got left, and which one wanted you the least, and which one would have put up with you for longer.
Right.
And this argument will just rattle on. And you're just standing there listening to it.
Okay. I think I would do the same thing that Douglas would do. And I think at that point I would just kind of start looking around for like a way out, because I don't believe that these people are my parents, right? I'm like, I don't know who you are. You're not even really talking to me. I'm not really listening. You know, it's the kid thing when two adults start talking and they're like, okay, I got nothing to do with this. So he's just going to aimlessly sort of wander, kind of looking for a door or a way out. Okay. At this moment, he has no idea where he is or what's going on.
Same sort of thing as what happened with Douglas. No matter where you tend to roam and wander, as far as you think you're crawling and looking and searching in the dark, when you turn around, you're right there. Like, distance does not seem to actually occur. And then as an afterthought, they kind of stop arguing and immediately turn back around. Are you worth anything?
Well,
was it a wealthy family that took you in? They got money?
Yes, they're very rich and wealthy. I'm I'm spoiled rotten.
Oh, that's good. Well, and with that, the dad, like, comes to move in and he's got his arms open like he wants to hug you.
I take a few steps backwards. I do not...
Okay, he's like, well, he goes, it's me. It's Daddy.
I have never met you before once in my life. And
oh, of course not. You were just a bairn whenever we unfortunately had to leave you.
Why did you leave me?
We left you near Scarrow.
Why?
Well, it was your mother. She said that, she was too young to be saddled with a child and had life to live. I did not say that. You said you didn't want to be burdened with dragging around some snot-nosed child, and we had got a world to see. So you convinced me the best thing to do was leave him. I did no such thing. You were the one that wanted to abandon the child. I said we shouldn't do that. He says...
Did you ever... Oh, yes, please.
Are you sure you don't recognize me?
Do I Gore by any chance?
There's a vague familiarity about them, but that's it. Like,
okay.
You certainly have never seen them before.
Right. Okay.
But considering you were a baby...
Yeah, even if what you say is true and you are my parents, I'm going to look at my dad, are no father of mine.
Oh, I mean, come now. Come now, Willowtrip. You have to understand that...
Why do you keep calling me this?
Well, that's what we named you at birth.
Willowtrip?
Willowtrip, yes.
What a terrible name. A horrible, disgusting...
I
puke.
understand, my son. I said the same thing, but she insisted. I did not. You said you wanted to call him Willowtrip after your father. That was his middle name. I told you I hated my father's middle name. No, I wanted to call him something much stronger and with more vigour. Something more suitable of a heroic figure like him. Look at him now, look.
Like what?
Oh, I don't know,
Give me something.
How about Thunderfist Boulderfeet, for example? Would have been a great name for you. Would have been a fantastic name. Here comes Thunderfist, they would have said.
What?
What a stupid, ridiculous man you are. Willowtrip, he got off lucky if the alternative was Thunderfists. Oh, what would you have called him then? Oh, I don't know. He looks like such a sweet, precious boy. I'd have probably called him... maybe Lilac Flower would have been a nice name for him.
Oh boy. Gore, I'm going to unsheath my sword at this point.
Okay.
And just kind of whip it in front of me.
They kind of both step back just a fraction, but not out of fear, more just out of getting out the way.
Great.
He goes, what's the matter? Oh, that's a fine blade.
It is, isn't it? Yes. It's felled many people far greater than the likes of you two, whomever you are.
Well, I mean, there's no need for that. I mean, we are your parents. I know it might seem a bit odd. We're not entirely sure how we got here either, but here we are. I saw it as a sign. I thought that we had been brought here by the gods to have a second chance and reclaim our precious boy. I mean, dafter things could have happened.
What do you mean by reclaim?
Well, be reunited as a family once more.
Now that you have seen the world.
No, we regretted it immediately. But when I went back. I did, didn't I? I went back. No, you didn't. I went back. No. But
right.
No, I went back and I told you it's too late. The basket's gone. Somebody's claimed him. And I said, well, let's look for him. And you said, no point now. Why waste any more time? I never did. I never said such a thing. You were the one that was quick to turn your heels and say, well, that's that then. Let's get to the pub.
Well, the way I see it, you have two choices. One, you can leave. Two, I can make you leave.
Well, I don't quite know how we can leave, my dear boy. We just kind of seem to be stuck here. I don't have a choice.
Octavius is going to sit down on the ground. Well, then I guess we wait.
Well, I suppose we'll have to. I mean...
Suppose we will. And when my father comes and fights me, he will sort this entire thing out. And let me tell you something. My father is a horrifying, terrifying beast of a man. You do not want to be here when he arrives, because he will rip you limb from limb mercilessly without giving a second thought. He has 2 attacks now, and let me tell you, they pack quite a wallop. Up until about a few weeks ago, I would have said, you're fine, but now you're in for a fright.
Alrighty. And with that, we'll move on once more back to the Gemma show.
I love you. You're so good. That was so good. And that whole just like not even a moment. You're just like, oh, these aren't my parents. Like,
no, well, because he's a kid. He's like, no, no. All he's ever known is you guys as his family, right? Yeah. He has no reason to believe that these people mean anything to him. He already doesn't like you guys as much, and you're his actual family. But you know what I mean? He's like a teenager.
Wow.
But it's a teenager, right? You're like, my family
hates
sucks,
everybody.
Dude. I hate my family. And then these 2 strangers, he's like, nah.
Who wants more people?
Yeah, no. I'm
right?
cool, man. I'm cool off of you idiots. Plus, they're 2 idiots, and he's like, you 2 exhaust me. I hate you.
All right, so back to young Gemma. So you're all sitting down at this point.
Yes, we are sitting down.
Okay, Fomorius looks like he wants to come and jump up in your lap. You wish to allow him?
Yes.
Not yet. We need to sort this out first, and then cuddles afterwards.
Okay, he stops and
now,
you hear...
Has anyone tried to get out of this room yet?
I don't think it's a room. I don't know where we are, but all around us is just darkness. There seems to be nowhere to go.
Have you tried to leave? Have you wandered around? I suppose I should try that first.
Okay. Yeah, you can wander around as much as you like,
and then
but...
I stand up.
Yep.
Yeah. I seem to be ending up back at the same spot. Great. Fine, and I'm going to go sit back down and say, okay, Fomorius, your turn. Why did you come to my family to be with us? Since I can talk to you now. I'd like to point out that I cannot talk to you when I'm out there because I don't understand anything you're saying.
Well, that's bloody convenient, isn't it? That we can only communicate in a place we don't want to be. How fantastic.
Well, if we seem to be stuck here for a long time, I can certainly try to teach you Common before we find a way out.
Don't really think I have the vocal cords for it. Just saying. Didn't alive, and I certainly don't now.
In that realm, correct? You can understand me, and that's good enough.
I seem to be able to.
Why did you approach my family? Or me, specifically, in this house?
Well, you needed help, didn't you? Obviously, you couldn't look after yourselves. Somebody had to look after you.
I'm sorry, I have had like 19 or 20 years under my belt where I've done well for myself, I'd say. I've
yes,
won
but then,
many awards in
since you
school,
showed up
top of my
here,
class.
haven't been doing too stellar since you've been here, have you, my girl? No, you and your family have almost gotten yourselves killed numerous times.
I think that's the point you should take away is almost. We have survived every single encounter, and hits.
I'd escaped death 9 times before I finally died. I thought I was invincible as well, but on that 10th time...
Tell me, what got you then?
A vile young wizard boy, that's who got me.
Ah. Could it be...
Fried me in the streets, lured me in with some beautiful, delicious tuna fish. And then as soon as I went to eat the tuna fish, zap!
How do you get tuna? How do you get tuna landlocked? I'm sorry.
Too much tuna.
That is unfortunate, and
that is too much
honestly,
tuna.
it's a bit embarrassing for you too.
Well, you gotta think.
Young wizard
how
boy.
much tuna there is.
Strahd had a whole bunch of stuff brought in for you guys from overseas.
It is entirely too much tuna.
So he says, zap, and that was it, dead as a dono. Then he flayed me, cut me open, removed all my entrails, played with them like some weird toy.
I'm sorry, were you a spirit cat watching this happen to you?
Absolutely.
What happens to cats when they die? Spirit cat.
Oh, well, of
Floating
course.
above your body.
When cats die, we become little guardians for our masters or mistresses in their former lives. And we watch over them.
Well,
that's what we do.
Okay, why aren't you watching over your former master?
Because she's
Where
not
are they?
dead, I am. She's...
Right, aren't you supposed to watch over her? While
She's
living
gone
life
mental. She thinks she's a cat. He drove her insane. He tormented her.
Ah.
He tormented her to the point where she thought she was a cat. Do you have any idea what it's like trying to watch over somebody that thinks they're a cat? God, it's annoying.
So you're Lady Voctor's daughter's cat.
I was originally, yes. But now I'm yours. Lucky me.
And I think you're so cool, and I like hanging out with you.
Well,
Okay.
obviously, I am
don't know
cool.
why you have such an attitude. about
Because
this.
of her. You don't see it, do you?
Right.
She's such a little manipulating bitch.
Whoa.
Oh,
Call
dear.
her a name one more time. And
He says,
I will not try
"Fine."
to find you tuna anymore.
She is a very manipulating rose.
Well, many roses have their thorn, but that's also her brother's name. So
Yes,
it's
but she
not
doesn't anymore, apparently.
creative of a pun. Listen, you stop. I'm
And she's
going back
like,
to you,
do you
Rose.
see what I'm
Rose,
talking about? He's evil. He's
understand.
vile. He's horrible. How could
You're
you
just not
want this
understanding
over
each other.
me?
Because you would live in my head. Do you see the difference? One is an external cat
But-
that takes care of my home when I'm gone. You
I
would be
want to
talking
just-
me 24/7.
I just want to go along for the ride. I don't have to say anything. I'll be quiet.
I don't believe that. No, there's no way you'd be quiet. You'd, as soon as you saw a mountain, you'd freak out,
I'd love to see a mountain.
wouldn't you?
I dreamed of seeing such things. That's all I wanted to see. Was rivers and streams and fields and rabbits and birds and mice.
Well,
Morris is like,
you
yeah,
drew the short end of the stick, and you had weird, terrible parents, and then you got trapped in some room. And now I do have a serious question in which I've been conducting research on that I would love your opinion on.
Okay.
What was dying like?
The worst part was trying to tell Thorn that everything was going to be alright, even though I knew it wasn't. And not being able to save him and just watching him pass away, knowing that once he was gone it would only be a short matter of time before I'd be gone too. I don't
So
really
he
remember
went
much
first.
about the dying part. I think I just fell asleep and never woke up.
Did you also become a spirit floating above your own corpse?
No, it was different for me. I was reunited with Thorn, and for a moment I was happy, till I realized what had happened. And then both me and Thorn felt this terrible, terrible hole in us, this void that couldn't be filled. We felt like we needed to be somewhere else, but we were unable to go there. We couldn't leave. And we were trapped in the horrible house that we were raised in. And then...
So was it not enough, what we did?
Well, it was. We were at peace. But then something snatched me out of that peace and dragged me here. And all I know is deep inside me is it's because of something you've done. Something
I don't understand.
you
What did
specifically did. I don't know. Maybe I was brought here to help you. To warn you that you were being manipulated by a vile, evil spirit. Oh, here we go again. I'm the evil one.
It can't be Fomorius. It could be, I don't know, Strahd or somebody else. There's so many evil people in this land. It can't be this cat here.
I know it's something very close to you. Something that recently came into being. And it seems rather strange that he should be here now, at the same time as me, don't you think? Doesn't it seem a little coincidental? When you saw both of us, didn't you want to just go, ooh?
I'm gonna need to think about this.
Apparently we've got all the time in the world, or netherworld, or outer world, or wherever this is.
Yeah, we do.
And Seth, you just got slapped.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Do you wish to react in any way?
So I'm obviously gonna flinch because of the hits.
Yeah, it was a good solid slap.
It was a good solid slap. It felt real, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it did a point of damage.
Whatever damage that is.
Yep.
I'm gonna look right back into the eyes of my dad, who's right in my face, and I'm just gonna say, "Are you done?"
Oh, far from it, boy.
So let me get this straight. You're going to yell at me, insult me, call me failures, disappointment, all these things, and then hit me on top of it.
No. All that stuff was just so you know what you were about to be getting a damn good hiding for.
And after you give me this hiding, what then? Because I've gotten plenty of hidings in my life. This is nothing new.
Have you ever heard the term, I'm going to beat you within an inch of your life?
I've already been beat within an inch of my life many times.
Well, imagine what would happen if we went ahead and put that extra inch into the bargain.
So you're going to kill me for being a failure and a disappointment.
Only seems justice, I'm afraid. After what you allowed happen to your poor brother's wife.
Right. All that stuff again. Tell me, did I do any good things while in Barovia with my family?
Let me think. Nope, not at all.
Oh, so you don't know what I've actually been up to. How could you? You're here randomly in this
I know
darkness.
everything you've done since you've been here. Everything you've done.
So what about Octavius almost getting thrown off of a third floor balcony?
Why was he in that house in the first place?
That's not my question. He was almost thrown by a suit of armor with nothing in it. And I seem to recall stopping that, didn't I not? If you know everything, you
That's
know this,
like
right?
leaving a baby in the damn street and right before the carriage runs over him, running out and picking him up and going, oh crap, I almost got him killed.
Okay, what about the troll in the cave and Trip? Did I not leap in front of that?
Again? Why were you in a
forward?
bloody cave going after some giant foolish bird with a dead man? That's sensible, but that's sensible uncling, that is it? That's the way you treat young Trip,
it's
is it?
nothing to do with me being an uncle. It was a family decision to make that trip.
But you're the eldest.
Trip.
You're the eldest. You're the one that's supposed to make the tough decisions.
And you're my dad.
Right.
30 years my senior.
Right.
And about as useless as they come.
I accept my part in the failings that I've done.
I'm accepting my part too, Dad.
Doesn't sound much like it to me. All I've heard is you offering up excuses as how it wasn't your fault.
I'm just setting the record straight. I dove off of yet another balcony to onto a strange man and his little wolf friend that he was riding. Because Octavius was smitten for this woman 3 times his age.
And you still don't get it, do you?
Oh, I get plenty. I've done a lot of good here, too.
You still don't seem to understand that righting the wrongs that you did in the first place doesn't make you benevolent, doesn't make you a hero. What would have made you a hero was not putting him in harm's way in the first place.
And when have I ever said I was a hero?
Oh, you're the hero of Scarrow, aren't you? The boulder of Scarrow. I've heard songs written after you.
That's Trip's song. He came up with the
lyrics.
lyrics.
Exactly my point, boy. Exactly my point. You've deluded him. He thinks you're some kind of folk hero.
Wow.
Instead of a useless waste of space.
I must be so smart then. I have to be smarter than Gemma to be so effective at this, what you say I'm doing to my family. I must be the smartest family member out of the whole Mildwoods.
Aye, and if only you'd use those brains for good, instead of manipulating your poor family into doing all kinds of gobshite stuff.
You are not my dad. Because in no universe does my dad think I'm smarter than everybody else when I know myself I'm a fucking idiot, right?
You're not as stupid as you think, boy.
Oh, I'm plenty stupid.
Oh, you are plenty stupid, but not as stupid as you think.
Well, that's how I know you're not my dad. Because as semi-senile as he is, there's no way he would actually think all of this is on my shoulders.
No, it's not all on your shoulders. Just the lion's share of it. All the things that were your responsibility. All the times you should have dissuaded your family from being in harm's way. That's your fault.
Well, okay then.
Your little brother, all he ever done was play around in the woods chasing bunny rabbits. And then lived a happy life, raising his little family. He didn't have a scope of the world like you did. He didn't know quite how dark a place it was. But you did. You did, Seth. You grew up in it. You wallowed in it. You spent your time in the shady places with the shady folk. So I would have expected you to have warned him, persuaded him, nudged him in the right direction. After all, you was his big brother. He'd have done anything you said. If you'd have approached it right, but you didn't even know how to do that. All you knew how to do was fall into stupid arguments and be condescending to him. Got his back up every time, and then turned into some he said, she said bullshit.
Interesting take on what is reality and what is not.
Well, the reality is, my boy, I'm about to give you the whooping of a lifetime. Now let's set to it.
I will give you 2 other hits before I lay you the fuck out.
This is all. Please, son. Don't be so foolish. If you stand there and let me hit you twice, you won't need the second one. Because you'll hear it after the first one. As we used to say when I was a youngster, there'll be 2 hits. One me hitting you, and one you hitting the floor. Surely you've heard that one before. You probably used it.
I've heard it from you, actually. And with that, I am going to punch him in the face with all my might. It'll be a haymaker, so I'll probably miss, but...
All right. God damn it, I can't swear in the quoting. You're going to have to use exclamation marks. Or little symbols. All right, go ahead and make an attack on Dad.
All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna do like a full combo or anything because that's not my intention. So it's a haymaker. Ooh, 11.
All right. You swing, and without any effort at all, he just leans back and he goes, "Is that it? Is that all you've got? The one thing I thought you knew how to do, you can't even do that properly, you useless toad."
I'm just warming up, Dad. Just warming up.
He says, "Well, warming up's done, son." And then he raises his left hand over his head. What is your attack? But what is your to hit? Your attack bonus?
My attack bonus is 7. Plus 7.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, that hits me.
Okay. He basically does a haymaker, but it hits you in the balls because he kicks you. What is the damage from your haymaker?
It's so the haymaker is 8 damage plus a strength bonus,
which for me
is 4.
Okay, so you basically just took 12 points of damage to the knackers.
Yeah, so I'm obviously gonna keel over. I'm gonna grab my groin.
What is your
fall on one knee?
What is your normal total hit points?
64.
Okay. All right. After he kicks you, and you kind of go off, he goes, "Oh, this is going to be so easy." He says, "Well, come on then, you pansy. I'll kick you again."
Yeah, hold on. There's something I could do, which I want to do, which is going to be interesting. So I have an okay. I'm gonna activate my scrap like a sleuth.
Okay.
Class feature. Spend 2 moxie points and a bonus action to get a sense of his fighting style. I know how I fight, and I've heard stories from Gampy how he has fought because he's a war hero from back in the day.
Yep.
I didn't learn how to fight from him though.
Nope.
So, is there a familiarity with the way he's hitting me now? I mean, he hit me in the groin, so that might be a little... But that's what I want to do.
Basically, clearly the man fights dirty, uses distractions.
Right.
Uses all kinds of mind games and stuff like that.
Sure.
And, so it's not too dissimilar to yourself. Oh, James just wandered off.
All right.
I'm here just stretching.
Sitting is hard.
He fights dirty, but is that something I ever heard my mother talk about? Because she was a great storyteller about him?
Probably.
That he was a dirty fighter? Or
I mean, I don't know. If you didn't really say anything about it, it's really your decision as whether or not he was a dirty fighter or not. But
well, I'll defer to the family. I mean, yeah, so this, whatever this is a dirty fighter.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, Seth is a dirty fighter too.
Right.
Like, he has been a dirty fighter. So, I mean, my character's not an idiot, but he does have a high wisdom. So I'm getting a sense of something.
I mean, it's really kind of like, you know, obviously he knows how to gutter fight the same way you did. And maybe he learned that as a soldier, and maybe he didn't. You know.
Okay. And your proficiency bonus to your AC. So any future attacks will have a little bit of a boost because of that. I'm just going to slowly get off my knee, because I only felt a 1 knee with the hit.
Okay.
And I'm going to look at him and be like, "Who are you? Because you are not my dad."
He says, "I wish that were the case, but I am, no. Damn it."
No, no. Who are you? You're not my dad. What are you? Who are you? What is this?
Oh, for pity's sake. Are we really going to go over this over and over again?
I mean, you're going to keep telling me, and I'm going to keep hearing the same thing.
Exactly right. So,
but you're definitely
seems to be
not
that the only thing that's happening here that actually seems to have any weight or bearing is me royally kicking your backside. And with that, he is going to punch you again. But this time, he is just going to flat out just give you a left hook. And he will miss.
I will retaliate with a regular punch back.
Okay. Go ahead.
All
right. Yep. He swipes at you and misses. You swipe at him. He ducks underneath it. And he goes, "That's the spirit, lad. Come on." Right. Let's go down to Strahdville. Okay. Back over here.
Yay! Yeah, I've been taking this time to just kind of sit and think. I've probably pulled out like an instrument or two. I've got them in front of me. I'm just kind of plucking around on them, thinking.
Okay. He just seems to like listen to the tones of your, no matter how good or how bad the music is. He sits there with a smile and seems to relish it.
Yeah, I'll be kind of plucking around for a bit, and then I'll just stop and be like, Strahd, you were, in life, a dealer of death, right?
I was burdened with that to protect my lands and my family. As the older son, it was down to me to pick up the mantle of the sword, yes. As much as it pained me, the sacrifices that I gave, all of the little pieces of myself that drifted away with every life I was forced to take. Oh, if it had not been so.
Goodness would still be among you.
If I could have been like my brother and just stood on the sidelines, listened to music, recite poetry, court the pretty girls in the courtyard, I would have been the innocent one.
It wasn't just Titiana that you wanted. It was his life, and you took it.
I did not wish to take his life. That was not my intent. But you are correct, it was not just Tatiana. What I saw was the fruit of youth and love and kindness. That which I had squandered, that which I no longer possessed. I longed to hold it again. But it was not to be.
Instead you are this, a vampire.
Instead I am whatever this thing is. But perhaps, instead of this foolish pursuit, through the centuries of one so fair that I have longed for, obsessed over, perhaps been blinded by, maybe there is something different. Maybe a different type of light could bring me out of the darkness. I do so love music. And you have a gifted tongue when it comes to the recital and documentations of words. The poem that I heard that one evening, that song, it came of no surprise when I found out that it was indeed a ballad that you had birthed, one that you had brought into creation.
Many of my ilk, the bardic, as it were, they typically, and I would agree, find their inspiration and their means through the muses, through some glean of something beyond themselves. I fear that what you're seeking is the quality, the experience of finding that inspiration, which you have doled over so hard, Not even just you, but the way the fates have agreed that you are to be so cursed. You do realize it isn't the art itself that makes it beautiful. If you were to be some other being from some outside realm, you would never recognize the most gorgeous tapestry before you as beautiful. You'd only see cloth. You haven't, I think, in your current state, where this might be your soul I'm speaking to, the ability to truly engage and experience the world, the beauty, and the love around you. And I fear that I do not have the art, I do not have the quality you desire to somehow awaken within you a machine that's broken in a way that will make it work off of the fuel that it absorbs. You can't possibly power a mill without water. There is no water to drink. And
tell me, as an artist, as a singer of songs, a player of music, why do you play the music? Why do you sing the songs? What is the purpose of these? Do you do it to bring joy to yourself? Or do you do it to try to bring joy to others?
It goes beyond that. For me.
Then
my experience is that of its own truth within myself. Your experience has been, up to a point, your own truth, and you said it dwindled away. As you took life, you no longer valued any, let alone your own, and now here it is eternal. I don't sing for me, I sing for the things which need to be heard and the things which need to be felt. What I cherish in my life isn't to do with myself. You try to sell me this vainglorious depiction of me and this glorious display of art which I can give you that will awaken you. But the truth is, my beauty, my true soul and core belongs only to where it fits, and it fits with my family, and it cannot betray that. And while you offer me some peace in knowing that I could end my own to give to them, it doesn't, that's not the full picture. My family is not my family without me, and the beauty in that, the beauty in my own life, what I see as the art of my being, is where I so choose to spend that value. My uncle needs me, my father needs me, and I know he resents that, but he does. He struggles with some sense of where he's supposed to be, and he needs to control everything and be in power and everything, and me being against that gives him room to grow. He needs room to grow. My siblings need me. They think that they have things above me. They have nothing above anyone. They are just people, and that is the duty of a soul to live out. What I'm trying to say is, my family is everything to me, and I don't think you have the nearest gleam of beauty in the universe which you could hold to the beauty I found in them.
And he says,
appropriate apologies.
So your music is only for your family?
And my family is me. For I have my father, and I have my best friend. I have my sister, too often called to mend. I have my brother, the bravest of them all. They give me the courage to answer the call.
They give you all of these things? and you give them so much more, and yet, because you choose to encase yourself in this cocoon that is your family, you do not allow them to reach their potential either. Such a sad web of restraint this family unit yields. You say that your father needs you. Perhaps the only reason he needs you is because, while he has to protect you, in order to do so, you have to be close by him. Thus, he needs you to be there with him and your uncle, who you say also needs you. Perhaps, if you were not there, he would find a different path. Maybe it is you and your gift that is perhaps burdening them as much as it is burdening you. I merely offer you an opportunity to give them a small window of which to try to fly. And if, like this small bird with a broken wing, they are unable to do so, you can swoop down like their mother and pick up the mantle to protect them once more. Does this not seem like a thing that you would wish to do? After all, there are far worse things in Barovia than an aloof lord. I merely sit in my castle, musing over what is happening, wondering why the world is as it is. But there are things that roam and terrorize in amongst the lands that I have dominion over, that would do far worse things to your family. Do you truly believe that you can protect them from those things? The only way that they can be safe is to be removed from this dark and depressing, miserable place. And yet here you are, one that could possibly offer Barovia some light in its own darkness. Perhaps even lifting the light inside of me, where nothing else has ever been able to do so.
You speak of that light in yourself, and yet you are nothing but that of darkness. You don't know anything of which you speak, and yet you speak so freely of it because you've had so long to think about what it might be like to be able to understand it. You have no right to say what is my life and what isn't, because you don't have life. You never did. You only ever brought death in life, and in death you do the same.
He says, and this will continue to be the case. For nobody has had the opportunity to free me from this curse. Nobody has had the gift or the well-meaning to free others from this curse. And yet here you are. Just by simply saying one simple word, you have the power to save 4 lives. Just like this. And as I say, if I am moved and mused, who knows what else, what other distractions I would turn aside from. Perhaps in time I could be shown to appreciate this artistry that you speak of. And then perhaps, even though it has been so long since I have tasted life, I may learn to appreciate it in a different way. And perhaps with your guidance, I could be a more compassionate ruler.
Perhaps, but Therein lies the rub.
But even if there is the smallest chance you know for sure you will save the lives of your family, and the smallest chance that you will save the lives of others and enrich the lives of others, is this not a chance that is worth taking?
You very clearly understand how I feel, but the part you misunderstand is your place in it. I would gladly give my life for any one member of my family, let alone them all, but you don't have a right to tell me how to do it.
I merely offer you an opportunity.
An opportunity offered by a lord is as well dictated as law, and you know this.
Not at all. I have no power to force you. Not here. If we were somewhere else, I could glamour you. I could demand and control you. But there would be no point. You see, I at least understand that if it is not something freely given, then it has no value. I do not want to dominate you, Trip. I want you to become a companion. I want you to be here with me of your own free will, knowing that you have saved your family, knowing that they are safe once more.
A companion is an equal. An equal cannot be made from a point of indebtedness. You cannot offer me something and tell me we would be companions. At that point, I would be your slave.
Then choose to stay with me and your family can stay too. I will make a home for them in my glorious castle.
You still don't understand. All you've ever done is dominate and destroy. You could not possibly create. You, by your nature, are an ungodly, unearthly, unreasonable, for something they call the land even. You exist beyond that law which could possibly give. All you do is take. You took the life of your brother inadvertently. You took the life of your love, and she still remains just to torture you, and you think you have anything to give me. You have nothing within yourself to give.
He says, but what I offer is far more than you realize. For in time, I look for somebody to pick up my mantle, to rule in my place. Somebody that can choose to offer the world something far greater than I ever could. Perhaps with your kindness, you would be a far more benevolent ruler.
Then relinquish it. End it now.
Unfortunately, it is not that simple.
What must I do to relinquish it for you?
You must learn all there is to learn about the land. This I can teach you over time.
And so can the lands.
Then choose to stay here as long as you need to learn, and come and find me when you are ready. And at that time we will part the mists together and wave goodbye to your extended family. And then you will be able to enrich Barovia with your talented music and your poetic words, and lift my heart and the heart and soul of everybody here. And at such time, when you have learned enough and the land has accepted you, you then will take my place, and I can sleep forever. But it must be the land to accept you before this can happen. That is not a thing that I can give. I know that power is not something that you crave. I do not offer you this power because I believe you want it. I offer you this opportunity because I believe you do not want it, and therefore would learn to treat my beloved land far kinder than I ever could.
I've noticed, since our visit, some change in the weather. As it were, I believe being the ancient in the land, that might have to do with you.
Have you found the weather to be somewhat milder, less aggressive? Have you found that nature itself is less angry? This is because I feel less angry since our meeting. This is because you have infected me with a glimpse of hope that I did not have before. Such a small slither. Already you can see its effect, not just in me, but in the lands, in the animals, the wildlife, the very weather. Imagine what you could do given time. This is a sign that you are the one that I have been seeking for. You are the one that should come and sit by my side, learn to love the land, and when the land is ready to embrace you, you can help give me that one true thing that I desire more than anything. And I will go knowing that the land is in good hands.
The land here, when they say he is the ancient, he is the land. Sorry, Uncle Seth has taught me because I am completely oblivious to it. But, are you flirting with me?
I do not have such mere emotions as simple thought, love.
Oh, thank
like,
God. Then I don't have to let you
kindness.
down bad. Okay,
I merely know that you offer something that others cannot, and I crave it, I desire it, and so does the land.
Oh, I bet.
And that is a good moment for us to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Over to Douglas and Dear Parnell. Okay. Yep. So yeah, she's like, it's okay, my love. As I said, I'm sure that whatever it is that they said, they were mistaken. Nothing but one of those foolish things that happen from time to time. Someone's life pointlessly wasted and spilled, taken for no good reason.
Yes, they have to be mistaken. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know why we can't get out of here. It has to be something I can do.
Perhaps we're in limbo. Perhaps we haven't gone up and we haven't gone down. Perhaps there's something that needs to be resolved. Is there something we need to come to terms with? Is there something we need to realize?
Well, I
you...
guess I didn't realize I had another child. I'd like to meet him or her.
Well, here he is.
Can I hold him?
Of course.
His hands out?
Of course. I haven't named him yet. I never got the chance. You see, he wasn't born when it happened. But, strangely enough, he's here with us now. But I suppose we should name him. After all, I don't know how long we've got together. So, what should we call the baby?
I don't know. Let me take a look at him. Did she give him to me? I don't know.
Yeah, she has.
Okay. So I'm just gonna hold him and kind of. Oh, hello there, little guy. I'm your dad, Douglas. He's handsome. Kind of takes after your side of the family a little bit, don't you think?
I thought so.
He
does have that way about him, doesn't he? think he's got my nose.
He does. He sure does.
Got your eyes, though.
Yeah. Has he been with you long in here?
I don't know.
Okay.
As I say, we just kind of found ourselves here, and he was there. And for some strange reason, I just felt that was right, even though I never met him before. But I feel like I've known him forever.
He's a sweet little guy. Take that, Shacket. Anyway, what about Nell?
Nell?
After you.
Well, does he look like a Nell?
I don't know, sweetie. If you have a better idea.
I thought he perhaps looked a little bit like a Sean.
Sean. Oh.
And then,
okay.
Then, as I was sitting here thinking, I thought perhaps he also looked a bit like a Stephen. I don't know, to be honest.
Okay, I'm gonna have to say no on Stephen. Remember that one guy in the village that I just could not get along with him. I'd rather not. He's always bragging about what fish he caught that day.
Oh, but he was a wonderful fisherman.
Yeah,
he
I know,
certainly did know how to sling that line and hook.
Hold on one second.
Oh man, this episode's hot as hell, huh? Oh, Ollie ran in.
Sorry, I'm being asked if we can get ice cream. And apparently I'm a mean mom for not saying yes.
You're a wicked person.
Anyway. Yeah, he did, but he didn't have to rub it in and yell in the whole down the entire town, just screaming with his fish, like, look at this one, look at the size of this one. Who's got one bigger than me? And nobody.
He was right.
He was kind of rude, kind of arrogant. I didn't really like Stephen that much. Sean's okay. I don't mind Sean.
She says, well, let's put Sean on the table as well as Nell then.
Okay.
And
great.
But I mean, is this it? We're just to be here now for all eternity? I kind of imagined,
of course not,
things being very different than this, either a far deal worse or a far deal better.
Something must need to trigger something. We were here in some sort of trial. Me and the kids and Seth, and I think we messed up. Parnell, I'm sorry. I think we messed up big time.
Oh.
I think we'll get out of here somehow. I hope they get out of here somehow. I don't actually know if...
right? That when the man said that this was because of your meddling?
I didn't meddle.
Okay. I'll shadow you real quick.
I didn't meddle. I was trying to save them. Our sweet Octavius, he was in big trouble. Gemma was hurt.
Gemma was hurt? Is she okay?
I think so.
What else has been happening? I mean...
We had to separate.
You only left to go to a wedding?
A lot has happened, honey. A lot. I guess I have plenty of time to tell you about it now. And he's going to start telling her the whole story.
Okay.
Just rambling.
Like, I mean, are you including all the dangerous parts?
He's gonna downplay it a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, she obviously is very noticeably concerned by this whole story.
Yes.
And, you get a lot of, what were you thinking?
He makes it seem like he has it way more under control than he does. But It's okay, because, we got out of that one, and I took care of it, and, he's doing that dad thing. It was no big deal. She was fine. They didn't get hurt at all.
But... well, we need to figure out where we're at, because if you say the children are here, Well, I don't see them.
I know. I don't know if...
I can't help but feeling that me and you are stuck here in limbo for some reason, and they've either... Well, I refuse to think they've gone anywhere but up. They were sweet kids, after all. They never did anything wrong.
They haven't gone anywhere. They're still here. This is just part of the trial. It has to be.
But why would I be here?
I don't know, honey. Maybe the letter...
And why...
Whoever came to see you...
Why do I remember happening? What happened?
I don't know. He's there's magics that you can't understand. The kids, they know this stuff better than I do, but sometimes you can make people believe things that aren't true and see things that aren't there. It could be that you're not even really here. And I'm alone. Well, and I'm gone. And the kids are somewhere and I don't know how to get to them.
I'm definitely
Parnell, you
here.
have to help me.
I'm definitely here. It's okay, my darling. It'll be fine. We'll have to figure it out.
I'm gonna hug her. I know. I don't understand this magic stuff. All right, I barely know how to do prestidigitation. I barely know how to say it. It's really scary down here. And my sweet babies are the only ones who understand it, and they're not here. I'm so proud of them, Parnell. They've made me so proud. They'd make you so proud to see what they've done, how capable they are.
I wish I could feel so. I wish I could feel as proud.
You will. We're gonna get out of here.
No,
and you're gonna see them.
You don't understand.
What? What is it?
Well, I think we might be stuck here because we may have some unspoken things to say, some secrets that we're hanging on to that we need to get off our chest, and maybe then we'll be able to move on. Have you done anything that you feel like you need to tell me about? Anything you've done in the past that you wouldn't like to have said? Anything you're ashamed of?
No, honey. I told you everything that happened.
Are you sure?
All right. Hold on. Just
only.
Okay. There was this pie. Okay. And it was delicious. Honey, it wasn't as good as yours, obviously, but hold on. we found out that there were some hags that made the pies, and inside the pies was children bones. He just covers his face.
I'm
so sorry.
You ate children?
I didn't mean to, honey. I didn't know it was the pie.
Oh, well, it's okay.
You know I love pie, so why not?
It's okay, Douglas. No matter what you've done, I would forgive you, because that's the kind of relationship we have.
Uh-huh.
No matter what you've done, I would forgive you, no matter what it was.
Yeah, thank you.
No.
No, she's not leading up. No, no,
Sorry,
no.
Oh, sorry, I'm stressing my kid out 1 second.
You're role playing too hard.
Boy. Oh, pal.
Mama's fine. She says.
Sorry, guys. Brian's not here, so I don't have
No, you're good. You're good.
Interference.
You're good. She says, well, I suppose I do have something to tell you.
You do?
You have to understand.
Was it a cake?
Well, it does involve. No, I shouldn't joke.
Oh, it's okay, honey. It's all right. You just tell me what happened. Tell your sweetheart. What happened? And he kind of holds her hand while holding the baby.
She kind of like pulls her hand away, like almost like unworthy, and she says, about Stephen.
Yes?
Well, you know, he was quite a fantastic fisherman, as even you will admit, and I know that I said all those times that I bought those fish down the fish market at Scarrow, but Stephen used to drop them off at the house.
Uh-huh.
And well,
Kids, just take off your headphones.
and well, you know, I was kind of lonely, and one thing led to another. But it was only the once, I promise. It was only the once.
What was once?
Well, we were sort of intimate, but it didn't mean nothing. I promise. It didn't mean a thing. It was only because I was so lonely, and you'd been gone in the woods for so long, and then it just kind of happened one night.
Douglas takes a step back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
From her.
But you'll forgive me, won't you? Because that's the kind of relationship we have. I mean, I can forgive you eating children.
Okay, I didn't know I was eating them until it happened. It wasn't on purpose.
Well, this wasn't on purpose. It also just kind of happened.
Cornell, you're a grown woman. What do you mean it just happened?
You're a grown man.
Yes, I know. I didn't know what was in the pie. It smelled delicious. It smelled like apple.
Well, I didn't really quite know what was happening either. It was just one thing led to the other.
When did this happen?
About a month before you left for the wet.
He's not mine?
I think he's yours. I mean...
You think?
I...
What about the others?
What others?
Has this happened before?
No, of course not. No, never,
How do
never.
How do I know? How do I believe you now?
Well,
how can I trust you?
Well, the same way I trust that you're not walking around scoffing pies made of kiddies. I know you wouldn't do it. It was...
He backs away more.
She says, but...
I
mean...
I can't...
Surely you... I mean, he even if he isn't your son, which I'm fairly sure he is, I mean, he's just a baby, and he needs his dad. And after all...
His dad is Stephen.
Well, Octavius's dad was somebody different, but you loved him.
That's so different, Parnell. You know that it is different.
But it's
I'm
really
not saying
not.
I won't care for this child.
I mean...
I'm not saying I won't
do you
care
think
for
Stephen would want to step up? I wouldn't even want him to. I wouldn't want him to. I don't want Stephen to step up. I want our family to be back together again, and little Sean here will be our newest member to the family. Of all the hardships we've dealt, we can deal with this. Surely we can.
Parnell, I need a minute. And he's going to turn away from her. Just walk as far as he can away from her. Just to get a break. Just give me a minute.
Okay, you can have your minute. Meanwhile, in the land of short people... Okay, so... He says... Your dad says to you, Octavius... Well, look, son. I mean, who do you believe? Her or me?
To be honest, I don't really believe either of you two.
Look, I wanted to keep you, boy. I did, and I came back for you. It was a terrible thing we did leaving you, but I came back and you were gone. And I said I was going to find you. You did. No, I did too. And I started looking, but she wouldn't have it. She wanted you out the way. She wanted you gone from the get-go. She goes, that is an outrageous lie. I'm your mother, boy. I wanted to keep you here safe and sound. It was your father that wanted to go gallivanting all over. He's the one that abandoned you. He's the one that left you.
How long did it take for you to come look for me?
Oh, immediately. We'd only walked maybe half a mile and I turned around and came back, but you were gone.
Where did I go? Where could I have possibly gone?
We figured somebody had taken you, and I started to try to look for you. I did, but she said, no. What kind of life could we offer him? I'm sure he's going to have a better life if some good folk took him in. And I said to her, yeah, but we don't know. Anything could have happened to him. He might not have been found by a nice, kind, benevolent family. And she said, I did not. You're putting words into my mouth. You shut up, you. You did too. You said, I'm glad he's gone. We don't have to worry about him no more.
Did you put up signs to find me? One time when I lost whiskey, I put up signs and someone found him. Did you put up signs?
I wanted to, but I never learned to read and write, unfortunately. So,
hired someone else to do it.
Well, and I would have. In fact, I would have gone to my cousin. You know, Thomas, he can read and write. I'd have gone to him and I'd have asked, no, you wouldn't. You said, it's done with now, let's move on.
Right, so you did nothing to find me. So you say.
No, I did. I came back for you. She didn't. She didn't even do that. He said,
it sounds like...
My boy, he's lying. It was me that come back. I came back and he come and grabbed me and drug me away, screaming, kicking and screaming, crying in the streets I was, my boy, I want to find my boy. And he wouldn't have it.
Well, it sounds like it was too late. After the fact, you made the decision and you had to live with it.
He says, well, I can't live with it no more. I can't. And neither can I.
Okay, well, where do you live now?
Well, not sure where it is in relation to where we are now, but small house in a wee village just down south from Scarrow, north of Candwin.
All right, well, how about this? Once we get out of this place, I will come find you, and we can talk.
Well, how do we get out of this place?
I don't know, but I'm saying we can have a conversation later. I think first thing to do is to get out of wherever we are, I guess. So if you two want to possibly look for a door or a portal or something, that would be helpful. If you want to be actually helpful for once, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, well, they both start looking around pointlessly.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted them to do something else other than talk to me at this point.
But then eventually, almost like they both have a revelation at the same time, they both turn around and they say, there was this voice.
Voice?
Yeah, there was a voice that said to us it wasn't possible for both of us to leave.
Did they tell you to run?
They did.
Okay, so Octavius is kind of going to take it back by that. And what did you do?
Well, we ran.
Did you stick together or did you run?
Oh, no, he immediately broke hands with me, gave me a hard shove, and we both ran in opposite directions.
That sounds about, well, like father, like son, I guess. Damn, maybe you are my father. And then you just ended up here?
Yeah, and there you were. Strange design of fate.
Indeed.
With that, your supposed dad says, I think I understand what's going on here.
Do you? Please enlighten me.
We're here to be punished. For our wrongdoings, what we did to you.
All right, and what am I here for?
I suppose you could be the instrument of that vengeance. Seems to me the words were, only one of us gets to leave. Clearly it was her that didn't want you. So do away with her, and I bet me and you both get to go. And she's like, that's preposterous. He's lying. I was the one that wanted you. You should do away with him if you're going to do away with anybody. Go on, stick him with a blade.
I'm going to walk up to my dad and kick him in the shin.
Okay. Yeah, he's like, ow, what the fuck was that for?
All right, so I do make contact
Oh,
with
yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm like, maybe it's like a figment of my imagination at this point.
No, there's physically somebody here.
Okay.
He says, look, I'll prove it. I'll prove I'm your dad. You've got that little freckle down just below your left knee. Which I'm assuming you do have, and you may have or may not, but he will give you some description that leads you to believe.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah.
Gora, I am back. You can shut up.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Sure. And as soon as you're really close, he says, she's a horrible woman. She's wicked and vile and evil. And she manipulates me and makes me do whatever I want. I really did want to keep you. After all, you were my only son. I was going to raise you up and teach you the trade and learn you all the ways to get by in the world without doing an honest day's work, and how to get by and make ends meet off of other people's misfortunes and mistakes. What a life I'd have shown you, my boy. You could have travelled the world, living the life of Riley.
Right, I'm not going to kill either of you two. I have no reason.
Ah, well, we're probably stuck here then. Maybe I could kill her. Would that work?
You could try.
And she's like, you hear that? He wants to kill me.
Well, how do you feel about that?
My son is not going to stand by and let you kill me. I know that for sure.
Well, do you want to kill him?
Most of the time, yes.
Well, father,
See?
go ahead.
I mean, I don't actually think that that's how it would work.
Okay.
But, as I said, I reckon if you did it, then you'd be punishing the guilty party, and then the other one of us would see absolution, and you will have righted a wrong, and we'll all get away free.
Well, what if I just kill both of you then?
Well, we'll both definitely get out of here if you do that, but I don't know that you will.
Why not? I'm punishing the wicked, am I not?
Yes, but you'd be also punishing the innocent, because I'm actually innocent, you see. I didn't do anything. I wanted to keep you.
Right, of course.
So, bear that in mind.
It's quite bared. Duly noted. I mean, he's not going to kill one of these people, Gore, just for no reason. At least not at the moment. He has no reason to, strike one of these two people down.
Makes sense.
Okay.
I mean, why would he just kill one of these two people that make these claims?
Yeah, not going to happen. So he's just going to put his head in his hand. It's like, no, there has to be some other way. We just need to figure it out. I'm not killing anyone. No one's killing anybody. We just have to get out of here. That's all.
Alrighty. And we go back to the darkness.
Can we take like a 2-minute break?
I
know we're running kind of tight. I'll be quick.
Okay, yeah, I can just shutter you real quick. No
Thanks.
problem. Yep. Okay. So, back with Gemma, Fomorius, and Rose.
Hello. All right. It's time for me to find out where everybody else is. I'm sorry. This is getting strange. Now, if you'll bear with me, I'm going to try a little magic.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to attempt here. Wow. Scrying, divination level 4.
Uh-huh.
To see if any, to try to locate my father, to see if he's on the same plane of existence as me.
Okay, let's have a quick look here. You can see in here a particular creature you choose, i.e. your father. Let's see. Let's say the target isn't affected and you can use this spell against it. On a failed save, means the target remains within 10 feet duration. A creature that can see invisible objects sees the center of the illumination orb around the size of your fist. Instead of targeting a creature, you can choose a location you have been before. As a target of the spell, when you do, the sensor appears, location and doesn't move. A particular creature you choose that is on the same plane of existence as you. Okay.
Father, where are you? Are you here? Can I feel your presence? It's just so dark. Can I see you?
Okay, because of how this place is, you won't be able to hear or see anybody. But you do get the sense that you are on the same plane of existence as your father. But that's about all you're going to get out of it. In the same way you can't use light spells to burn through this, you can't do anything that would necessarily do that either. But you do sense that he is on the same plane of existence of you.
Okay, so I say, yeah, well, Rose, Memorius, seems like my father is somewhere around here. I can't see him, but I do feel his presence. So we're on to something. Now that, what we heard before we went down here is that we were going to a place called the Realm of the Gone. Does that mean anything to either of you two?
Beats me, says Fomorius. No, I've never heard of that before, says Rose.
Well, you two are both dead, sorry, but the Realm of the Gone does seem like some kind of place for the dead, which could mean I'm just dead.
Well, I don't know. I know I definitely am. And I've got a feeling that the evil spirit that's pretending to be a girl is. I'm not an evil spirit. You're a vile, wicked, monstrous thing inside of a cat.
Well, how about we clear that up too?
He says, yes, how about we do?
Both. Yes.
Anybody raise a tail that's actually done anything to help this girl? And of course he points his tail.
Tailbone. Do I have permission to read both of your thoughts? Then I'll discern who's has ill intent and who doesn't.
If you can, I suppose. Nope. I don't mind whatsoever. Go ahead and read my cat brain. But I warn you, you might not like everything you see in there. I've seen some stuff.
I'm back.
I'd rather read Rose's first. Rose, may I detect your thoughts?
Sure.
Well, fine.
Okay.
Just close your eyes and don't resist the mind meddling I'm about to do.
Let's see. The thoughts and visuals. Let me check something here.
Okay.
Yep, thought so. Can't work on either of them because
Damn it.
dead things are immune to mind-affecting spells.
Okay.
So basically, you try to focus in on Rose, but you get nothing.
Okay.
And you'll get the same if you try to focus in on Fomorius.
Alright. Alright, well, it seems...
So Fomorius is like, she's evil, isn't she? You sensing it? I'm sure you are. You're sensing
No.
it. She's wicked.
I sense nothing. You're both dead, so I can't even... You have no thoughts.
Fomorius says, look, it's really simple. Just banish her and we can go home. And she's like, no,
What do you
it's
mean
not.
banish?
Get rid of her, dismiss
So
her,
you're
whatever.
banished?
I don't know. And she says, no, don't fall for it. I'm telling you, he's wicked and vile. Let me into you and I will show you. She said, take me instead. Leave him here. He's wicked and vile, not me.
I don't want either of you in my head. That's my answer.
Moria says, I've never been in your head.
Exactly.
But if you don't accept me and
Bro-
take me with you, I probably won't be able to see you anymore. I'll be gone.
Ugh.
I've got a feeling I'll never be able to leave this place if you don't take me. And I'll be stuck here for all eternity if you don't take me.
Oh. Oh.
Well, she can't hardly take us both, can she? Well, no. After all, you think I'm wicked and vile, and you think I'm wicked and vile. And obviously, we're not going to see eye to eye on this. Don't worry, though. I know Gemma. She will make the right choice. She knows cats are better than people. And then Rose is like, yes, actual live, living, furry, purring cats, not evil, reincarnated, demonic forms of bony cats. You're not the same thing. What?
Listen, you two. You have both had a chance to live and experience life. Now, you two kind of got really terrible ends of the deal here. And I'm very sorry for that. But I am not your vessel to get a second chance of life. That's not how this works. You have lived and you have died. And wherever you are now is where you're supposed to be.
We're
So
here.
why are you trying to get me to choose? I choose neither of you.
But you need me. Who's going to protect the house while you're gone? Who's going to see through the wicked lies of strangers that come to the house and try to fool you into doing his bidding?
Hire a cleaning person. What does it matter who protects our house? It's nice that you do, sure, but it's just a house. It's just possessions.
But
Which, mind you, I have some very nice ones. I wouldn't like stolen, but it is what it is.
And don't you love me? I mean, I love you, clearly. I mean, I sleep on the end of your bed.
Love?
I keep everybody else away from you. I show you just how much I love you by being incredibly possessive of you and not letting anybody else any time to spend with you, because that's what love does. And I don't even ask you to feed me. You're never going to get a pet as good as me. You know it, I know it. Plus, I can do things. I can protect the house and sense wicked and evil. That's why I'm here, to protect you from her. No, I'm here to give you the opportunity to get rid of this vile thing and do a good deed. And I can help you. I can protect you. I don't need to sleep. While you're asleep, I'll be watching over you. I'll wake you up if anything bad happens. Take me instead. Please, let me see the world. As you said, I didn't get the chance to live. Now you have the chance to give me that. Please, give it. Just don't deny that to me. And Thorn. what's going to happen to Thorn if I'm stuck here?
You won't be stuck here. You are both appealing to the ethos, and I will not have either of it. You're a great cat, but love does not mean selfishness.
He says, but what about the voice? I know
my siblings. I love my family, and that's real love. This is not. I don't want either of you in my head.
But the voice told us that one of us would not get to leave. It told us...
You heard that voice too?
Yeah, it was a weird voice. It just said, you won't... Both of you cannot leave, and to run. And we ran and we ended up here. Seemed pretty clear to me that one of us isn't going home. And quite honestly, it doesn't need to be that vile bitch. It needs to be me, because I have value. And she's like, don't you see it? Can't you see how horrible he is? He says, look, I'm just being me. I'm just being honest. You are the manipulating one, talking all sweet and, oh, please, please help me. Oh, how pathetic. He said, you're just trying to weasel your way in. You're trying to play on Gemma's good graces. That's why she needs me, to get people like you out of her life. These horrible manipulations of yours are just, she's not seeing through it. She's going to choose me, and you may as well get ready to get used to it.
I stand up and I just go, Thane, oh Thane of this challenge. I choose neither of these things.
Okay.
Please let me out of here.
Nothing seems to occur. Meanwhile, Shagget. Back with dear old Dad.
Yep.
Okie dokie. So, dear old Dad is going to, once again, try to give you a right solid punch in the face.
That misses.
Alright, yep, he swings at you and you duck.
I am going to retaliate.
Okay.
By attempting a grapple.
Okay.
I'm gonna slip in through between it, under his punch.
Alright, and grab him around the waist.
To wrap my arms around him and basically give him a bear hug.
Okay.
That's an athletics check.
Yep.
Alright. Please roll well for a change. There we go.
All right. Yep. So you duck underneath and grab hold of him and get a good solid grip on dear old Gampy.
Yeah, and I'm not going to let go, and I'm going to hug him, and I'm going to say, I forgive you, like I forgive myself. And then I'm going to go, the people from Hollow are hard to discern, the people of Saruman quickly adjourn, the people from Corthain all took wrong turn. What else? What was the... but once they hit Scarrow, there's something to learn. A man here in Scarrow, Goliath in size, that's me. Stands pretty sturdy for all the ale that he buys. If you get across him, you'll soon realize. Does that rhyme? Yeah, I think that rhymes. Trip's really good at this. But I forgive you, I forgive you, Grandpa.
Let go of me, you oaf!
Nope. It's all love now. It's all love now. I love you and I love me. And we're faulty people. We messed up, but god damn it, we do the right thing sometimes too. And I'll do better. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just hugging him to death.
Okay, alright. Back over to Satch and Strahd. Or Trip and Strahd, seeing as you were just having a hug out.
That was the quickest one.
Hey. So yeah, he says, "Is this not what you wish? You could lead this land and make it something truly great, something that I will never be able to do."
That's almost it. I'm afraid it's a little more...
And you can also save your family from its imminent imploding. You see, One of my abilities is to see glimpses of the future. Do you not recall I tried to warn you when you were in my home? I mentioned it a few times. One of them will betray the others. One of them.
I think we all know which one, yes. You know who you are. Parlor trick.
Well, I think
Strahd,
we
I
all
pity
know
you.
that it is not you. I think in your heart you know which one it will be. If the darkness continues to work upon them, eventually they will be consumed by it. And instead of a potentially benevolent lover of the arts, this land may be ruled by even more darkness. And your family will implode because of what happens when one of them turns against the rest.
I don't think we're talking about the same family, Strahd.
Oh,
Frankly,
I know for sure that we are. You do not understand. You cannot see the effects that this land has on the others. I understand you have faith, and a love for your family will blind you to any possibility that they would be less faithful or in any
Darkness
way.
is what blinds you, Strahd. I'm sorry, but you just...
For all the darkness, I see remarkably well.
You see well into yourself.
There will become a day when you will recall this conversation, and you will then and only then realize, even though you feel my intentions are wicked and vile, I tried only to offer you salvation. I will admit I care not what happens to the rest of your family, but I know that you do. So to protect them, I will do it for your benefit, because I want you to stay.
You have no jurisdiction over the souls of my family.
I have jurisdiction over every living soul in Barovia. You
Which
live.
you've taken under control of your own powers which be, and sure you might hold the souls, but you'll never hold the wills. There is only dissent within your ranks, and that will be true until the end of you, and I am working, dear Strahd, to bring that end about.
He says, have you not encountered those with no soul in Barovia?
Oh, plenty.
And do you understand why there are no souls in Barovia? Anyone
march
that
each
dies in Barovia, their souls cannot leave. They cannot escape. Which means that when somebody new is born, there are no souls to replenish the bodies. When one of them dies, the next to be born will have no soul. If you or any of your family members should die while here in Barovia, their souls are gone forever, unable to move on. You have a chance to save them. I bid you to take it. Take it now while you have the opportunity. And mark well, if you decide to decline my offer, mark well that it was I, Strahd von Zorovich, that warned you against a member of your family that is going to turn against you.
Then what of the souls of the Revenant? What of Vladimir Honegard?
What of Vladimir Honegard? He
I
is
understand.
an empty husk. He is a revenant.
The same hope you reach for, the same light you're hoping to one day glean for yourself, that you might pass with peace and pass on this wretched place to potentially me or anyone else who might happen upon it. That hope is the same one I found in him. To put your judgment on that soul trapped in that shell of a man, you are, at the very best, a hypocrite.
You do not understand. That is not his soul. That soul is one that is merely residing in that form.
But it knew love, which is better than you'll ever have.
I knew love.
No, because
I
she
have
never
loved
wanted
deeper
you.
than you clearly ever have. Believe me when I tell you love is something that I understand all too well.
Longing, perhaps. Oh, but to be loved.
One
I
can
don't think you've
love
ever
without
had that.
receiving love.
That's not love.
I have not been loved.
That's loneliness. that is
have
just loneliness.
It says, but you are but a child. You will never understand the things that will take centuries to learn.
To you, everything is a child. Whether or not it's a child doesn't mean it speaks any less true. Some of the best truths are held within the hearts of children.
And yet so many things I believed I knew to be true so long ago I now know are not.
Just because your view is faded with a life that is no longer yours, doesn't mean the truth has also joined you.
Well,
You are alone, you are sad, and everything you ever seek to touch dies just as well as you do. You need death to free you, more than anything, and I'm offering you, just as you're offering me my freedom, I would like to offer you a chance for yours. Die at our hands.
you do
and
not
will be
have
free.
the power to kill me.
Not yet.
You do not
Well, well, I know.
understand even this. Even death cannot free me. If I am destroyed, it will be but a mere flick of the ocean, and my body and form will be risen again, and the mantle will once again be thrust upon me. For this has happened before, and it will happen again.
Should you want peace, you would tell me how to end that as well.
You cannot end it. The dark, ruinous powers have forbidden me the opportunity to seek peace. The only way I will be freed is if another takes the mantle from me and rules in my stead. And you are the only one that I have met in 300 years that might possibly be willing to do so. Have the grace to do so. Or the ability to do so. If you truly wish me to cease to exist, then you must take over the mantle of the land. If you do not and you kill me, you will be able to leave Barovia as long as you do so before I am brought back to being. But mark my words, I will return, and the land will once again be cursed, and all that are still here will suffer my wrath, and my anger, and my torment, and my torture.
What about you so truly concerns me is that you find such divinity within your own will to suffer.
There is no divinity in it. It is nothing but pain and misery, and a long road of grief. But there is also no reason to feel that it can be removed, for I know that it cannot. For centuries I believed that it may be. Indeed, a great battle occurred, and at one point I was destroyed. I felt my soul rise from my body, and I thought to myself, at last, the sweet release of death. And then cruelly and wickedly, I was wrenched back and forced back inside my husk, and rose again the next night. Twisted, more angry, more vengeful than I had been before. It has happened once. It will happen again. Many have tried. Your own great-grandfather, for example.
Ah, Eris. He made the best sweets.
He died the best death.
That sounds like him.
It was almost inspirational. If he had only been younger, if he had only been more broad-minded, if he was not so brutal himself, he could have possibly been a worthy replacement, but he was not.
So what now? Just
now you
die
must
floating in
decide.
this abyss?
You can choose within your heart to save your family and try to free Barovia. And come with me. You do not have to come with me now. But when it is time, you will know. If this is your desire, will it to me. Let me understand your intentions. And then we will leave. If not, I will leave regardless. Your decision changes that not. And if you will, just private message me what Trip is going to reply mentally to Strahd. Like, what is he going to feel? And you must keep that to yourself. We're almost done, Sass. Very nearly done. Alrighty. And, okay. Let's see. Okay, very quickly, back to Christy. After you've turned your back on your good lady wife and had a think.
Yes.
She's like, but Douglas, for our family, we can't let something like this tear us apart. We've endured so much. I know I've done wrong, but I promise to make it up to you in any way I can.
He doesn't say anything to her just yet, but
Okay.
he's going to cast Primeval Awareness,
Okie dokie.
which I will pop in the chat for you.
Alrighty.
He wants to see what she's made of.
Alright, let's see. Type of creature and presence within 1 mile. Okay, she would be considered celestial.
Okay.
At this point.
Okay. He's gonna turn around, tears streaming down his face. Parnell, of course I forgive you, but you're not real. I don't know if I'm real. None of this matters if we don't get out of here. There is no family if I don't get out of here. I have to get out of here. And he looks down at the baby.
He says, I need to get out of here too. I just don't know how. And where will I go after all?
I go home. Go home to Stephen.
But Stephen's alive. I'm not.
He will...
I was killed.
You're not dead, Parnell. This is a trick. I don't know what's real, but this isn't it. I don't think you're real. I'm sorry, honey.
I don't know if I'm real or if I'm not real.
I don't know
All
if
I
I
know
am either.
is I know that I'm not alive anymore. As I said, I feel like I was brought here as some kind of limbo, but it doesn't feel like anything's gotten resolved. Other than, I suppose, at the very least, I have a clear conscience now.
That's
As much as
Okay,
it pains me that you
good.
know the truth, I
He's
could
gonna
never
walk-
have gone on not knowing, or knowing that I never told you the truth.
he's gonna walk slowly over to her
Okay.
and look at the baby one more time,
Okay.
and then hand it over to her.
Alright.
His name should be Sean. I love you. I love him. And I forgive you.
Okay. Where are we at? Alright, Snugs. Back over to you. So, at this point, they've kind of cut, both coming closer, and said, "Look, we're not getting out of here until you have punished the wicked. Now, you need to do that. Do that, my boy. Punish the wicked, put her out of her misery, and we'll go on. And you're right. We'll meet up again, and I'll make up for all the time that I wasn't there for you. I know I can't replace your new dad, but maybe I can be some kind of fun uncle."
Like a funkle.
Aye, Funkle, if that's what you want to call me. You can call me Funkle. That sounds fine.
Punish the wicked.
Don't listen to him. He's an absolute cad. Can't you see what he's trying to do? He'd have you murder your own mother.
Punish the wicked. I think I can do that. 'Cause I think he would start to realize that I don't know. I think he would just start to realize something fishy is up here. It's just too. It's just too coincidental, and he's gonna pull his sword out again.
Okay.
And take a few steps towards both of these people.
Alright. They're both standing there looking at you, and your dad is like, "Go on, do for her." And she's like, "Cut his throat. Don't listen to him."
I think Octavius would just take 2 quick swipes and cut both of them down.
Okay.
I think that's what he would do, because he's like, all right, this is, first of all, it's ridiculous. Second of all, I have no idea who these 2 people are. I've cut down people for less. I want to get the hell out of here. They're both bad. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I think he would just be like, there's a way out of here. They've said that before, like, punish the wicked. Maybe it needs to be punished. So I'm like, maybe I am the instrument of their punishment. Maybe I am. And they need to be punished. And that's kind of been my lot with the group, is like the punisher of the family on this last trial. So I'm like, okay. And I don't make a show that it's just, they're unarmed. So, you know.
Yeah. I mean, bottom line is neither one of them is in a position to try to fight you.
Yeah. And the fact that neither of them were really scared is also like kind of a giveaway.
Well, it almost seems like they're both just so convinced that you're going to punish the other one.
That's what I mean. Like, they're not scared at all about themselves or about the other person being hurt at all. Like, even more so not about themselves, not other people. And I think he's going to just think in his mind, like, this is the opposite of what I have learned from my family. It is, if anything else, they would be terrified for someone else before they were terrified about themselves. And so I think it's just such an opposite of what Octavius has come to know about family, about life. I think he has no problem cutting these people down because, again, he doesn't really think that they're actually people. With everything going on and this weird time-space thing he's in, he's like, I've read enough of these books. I don't get a good feeling about this. I'm just going to get these 2 people out of here.
Okay. So, yep, you're like, and they both like,
And he just watches stone-faced.
And they just drop to the floor. Both of them kind of like reach out and grab hold of you as they slide to the ground.
Yeah, I kind of kick him off my leg.
Get off. Okay, and they both bleed out at your feet in a pool of blood. Okay, after that, you are going to appear somewhere. You appear to be standing on some kind of raised plinth, like a natural plinth. You are there all by your lonesome.
Oh, not again.
Jane, so you're basically, your decision is you choose neither of them, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You will materialize in a plinth, materialize next to your brother on a plinth.
Okay.
Strahd begins to disappear, and he says, as his last words, he says, "The seed has been sown, the betrayal has begun." And then he raises a hand and he disappears. And then you also disappear. And you emerge on a strange raised plinth next to your brother and your sister. Pernell sobs, cries, and says, "Oh, I love you too. When it's your time, me and the baby will be there waiting for you. Don't worry, Douglas. We'll be in heaven. Don't do anything too wicked to get sent down." And then you start to fade away. And you appear on top of a pedestal next to your kids. As Seth hugs his dad, his dad is like, "Get off me, you useless, worthless boy!" and arguing, and you're like, "No, I'm not letting you go, blah, 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 blah."
Well, actually, what Seth is doing is repeating a line of the song that he'd be the first to apologize, that he'd be, he's
okay, and he's
like
going to keep singing it?
Yeah.
He starts kind of like thumping you on your back to make you get loose, but it starts to get like less and less and less. And then he's like, "This is pointless. How could I expect you to ever do anything different? After all, what sort of upbringing did you have? What sort of father figure was I? It's my fault you turned out the way you did. I should have done better. I'm sorry too, son. I'm sorry too." And with that, you disappear and materialize on a pedestal raised up on the ground. At this point, you are all now on this little raised up pedestal. There appears to be a natural stairway leading down, but yet again, all around you, other than this little illuminated area that you're standing on the top, is nothing more than a descent into yet more darkness. And that is where we're wrapping things up this evening.
Ah!
Yeah, but here. Just give that a measure. Ah, dagnabbit. Well, time for a beer. Glug, 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 glug. Oh, hello there. It's me, Christy, your D&D dad. I'm here to do all the things that a good D&D dad should do. Like mow the lawn, fix some shit, drink a beer, and of course, roll lots of 20s. And if you like all this, can you pan?
Oh, sorry, Dad. Sorry. Yeah, you look good. Yeah.
You should check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Christastics. And if you like D&D content, check out my podcast, New Crits on the Block. Anyway, I love you, my children.
If you're seeing this, that means that I'm back to playing Mondays on How Reroll. My handle is Satchmo on all platforms, and if you follow me, then maybe I can...
We've been trying to reach you concerning your car's extended warranty.
What the what? What the what? What the what?
Nothing! Hi, is this my local zoologist? Yes, I'll hold. Hi, local zoologist. Yes, my name is Jane Ivana, and I'm looking for a snake that has a stinger. Yes. I'll hold. You don't have any? Alright, well, if you could look into it, you can contact me on Twitter at Jane on Twitch, that's with a 0. Anytime. Yeah, or you could catch me on my Twitch streams. I stream like once a week on twitch.tv/JaneIvana. Alright, I'll hold. Okay, thank you. Goodbye, local zoologist.
Hey everyone, it's the Snuggler. This year, Jane asked us to go quick on our outros, so I promise I'll go as fast as possible. You're just gonna put all my information on text on the screen, aren't you? Son of a...
Hey, twitch.tv/Shagget here, and I'm trapped in Barovia. I'm hiding in a dingy basement with some art, art dingy basement, nothing like what you usually see on my webcam when I do streams on How We Roll. And I'm not hiding from Strahd, believe it or not. He's a pushy Dracula knockoff. He doesn't scare me, I'm not afraid of him. I'm actually hiding from Gorebad, my dungeon master. He's out to kill me. I think finally surviving in 10 campaigns in Arconis throughout his stories, he's snapped because of it. And because of that, he's out to really kill me this time. Contact me at @neb_convos on Twitter, please. Your support will help keep me alive, keep me on the run, keep my hope alive. I really need to see what happens to Radovan, Emlyn, and Alekma, and all my other characters that I've played. I really need to see what happens to them. I'm very curious. Oh shit, I messed up. I really messed up. I think he heard me. He's coming. See ya!
Hi there, I'm Gorebad, and thank you for watching How We Roll. If you'd like to keep up with us when we're not live on Twitch, you can check out our other forms of social media. Follow us on Twitter, @HowWeRoll. You can also follow our Facebook page. You can find the website at www.howweroll.com, and you can also find us on YouTube at, you've guessed it, How We Roll, for an absolute ton of additional content. Also, you can follow the dmblog.com for some DM tips, world building guides, and all things D&D related. Cheers, guys. That was a long walk. Okay, they said Shagget was somewhere here, and the door to where he's hiding was a blue door. So we gotta find a blue door, blue door, blue door, blue door. You're mine now, Shagget.